Paenis versus Spectruhh. That is where we're headed. This is going to be a best of 3 series. So let's see what these guys brought to the monthly today.
Ooh, there's a value on Paenis' team as well as the 𝗬𝗺 here. Of course, 𝗬𝗵𝗶 on Spectruh's team as well. So also an Equinox. It's an interesting choice. So we have a bit of a solid mix. I don't see very many. There's one electric Tem on both teams, but outside of that, we don't see any of those mostly used mental Tems either. Actually, neither team rocking mental Tems at this point since 𝗏𝗏 is banned. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 picked up first, and the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 instantly picked up to deter that. On top of that, Minotaur.
Yeah, definitely. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has been such a powerful Temtem as of lately. I know we've been seeing him in the Dojo Wars, and he's been going really ham. So I'm definitely excited to see what he does. However, going against that counter pick Rotor, you know, Blue, at the very least, the Rotor only has Stone Ball turn 1. He doesn't have Rockfall, so he has to pick and choose where does he want to try to throw that Stone Ball. Does he believe the Minotaur staying in, or does he think the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is staying in? Obviously, Minotaur probably not having too much to do that opening turn, so I'm willing to bet that's going to be the one retreating, but we'll see.
Yep, 𝗬𝗏𝗏 and 𝗬𝗏𝗏 picked up for the back pocket of Paenis, and 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 in the back pocket of Spectruhh, bringing it back, way back. But also, I think even in the opening trade, if Spectruhh decides to swap out that 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Paenis decides to play it safe with the Minotaur, I think he should come out on top. So we'll see what Spectruhh opts to try. If he wants to go for that 1-for-1 trade, maybe play on a little bit of a backfoot going to the second turn, or if we'll see some spice here, but Rusher will benefit severely from this opening.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. Indeed, 𝗬𝗏𝗏 is obviously only available to have that helicopter kick online, unless Spectruhh is bringing out some spice here, some glass blade 𝗬𝗏𝗏's potential. I don't think so. I don't think so,
God.
though. So let's see. This Minotaur doesn't feel like it has too much pressure on turn 1, like we said. So most likely thinking about swapping it out. I'm not too sure. I'm feeling the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 okay. You bring it onto the board. You get things like that Frond Whip online. But we'll see. What do you have in mind, Blue?
Well, for the most part, I was thinking perhaps a double on the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 might be an ideal play here for Spectruhh, just to get ahead of that curve. But of course, the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 gets swapped in for that Minotaur, and we might see a 1-for-1. No, it does not. Hook actually goes into the roller. Paenis assumed the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 would come out, and Spectruhh reads it. The obvious play working out here. Reactive Vial is baited out, but the helicopter kit does come in, popping that 𝗏𝗏𝗏 for nearly 50% HP, and the snowball follow-up, trying to get that kill. It gets it! 𝗏𝗏𝗏 gets picked off as Paenis plays it safe, and Spectruhh gambles it on that shot, and it lands it. Kill on 𝗏𝗏𝗏, a full Temtem up.
Yeah, what a way to get the tournament started. Spectruhh just reading it perfectly, right? It couldn't got any better for Mr. Spectruhh here. Having that turn 1 momentum lead is all you can ask for as a tamer here today. So well done, well done. Now everything virtually online for the side of Spectruhh, right? The Goring, the Rockfall, the Crystal Bites, those hook kicks. And speaking of hook kick, that is one technique that 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 doesn't really want to mess with today. So yeah, I do think Paenis is a little bit on the back foot. Let's see how he's going to try to come back from this bit of a 1 Temtem deficit.
Absolutely. I think the biggest deal here is that Wooler's still immune, so the CPG has to go into the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏s, which it does so, but the bait does apply, so immunity and the Vigorize applying. Hook kick coming in to chip away at that 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 does over 70-80% damage even, as it goes and procs its own bait, but it's not enough. Goring will secure that kill, piercing straight through that 2-legged bird. Major slash to follow on that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to see if he can get at least a 1-for-1 trade, but the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 should be tanky enough to survive. 10% HP in the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 getting bang for its buck. It's turn 2, one of the strongest raw power strikes.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Spectruhh just not letting go of the gas here. 2 Temtems, as you said, only 2 turns have passed, but these guys are playing fast. The 3 priority sharp stab coming through. Heli kick was the only thing online, but finally 1 Temtem does go down for the side of Spectruhh. But Blue, I am smelling a stone ball coming out. Is that gonna be enough for 70% on this 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶? Let's go ahead and find out.
Stone ball to follow, and that's another kill! This Roller and 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 combo securing 3 kills in the bag for Spectruhh. That nullifying effect keeping Roller so tanky. There was nothing Paenis can do to secure that kill, at least with just effective damage. Just Roller just getting everything out. 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 as well spent every point of stamina going in. 𝗬𝗵𝗶 does follow, but the concession comes through. Spectruhh takes game 1 in convincing fashion. 3 higher risk play, but definitely had something to fall back to, and players will have to account for that, especially since now getting the first ban, I believe, so might be getting rid of that Roller outright.
We'll see. I mean, the Rotor was probably definitely the most problematic Temtem, right? Rotor, I mean, Spectruhh really showed exactly why Rotor is one of the most powerful Temtems in the current game. It got 2 kills as early as those opening 2 turns, so incredible stuff from that Rotor. So let's see. Oh, banning the 𝗬𝗂𝗃 as he does feel a little bit weak, but not terribly weak to that 𝗬𝗂𝗃. But we'll see. Picking up a different strategy here in that Grandpa.
Absolutely. Mixing it up here a bit. May pick up the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 as well with that Grandpa, but it's interesting. I believe, what was the previous ban plus outside of the 𝗬𝗂𝗃? Because I know 𝗬𝗂𝗃 was picked up from Spectruh's side, but I'm not quite sure what was the previous ban. Was it Aquanox?
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. It could have been, right? Because Aquanox has some heavy soil stains for the 𝗧𝗵𝗃, 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗃, the Minotaur. It has some toxic techniques for 𝗬𝗂𝗃. Does neutral damage onto 𝗬𝗵𝗃. So most likely was the Aquanox. I can't recall off the top of my head right now. But probably so. I don't think it was the 𝗬𝗂𝗃. But let's see Spectruhh now on the orange side, having to pick 2 Temtems here. You know, he wants to get the 𝗂𝗀𝗄𝗃, but as you said, the 𝗬𝗵𝗃 looming in the background saying, wait up, 𝗂𝗀𝗄𝗃, are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, exactly. Roller gets picked up here. Classic. Roller is such an animal, like just the beefy rhinoceros. You know, wind damage be damned, he should be fine here. And the 𝗧𝗵𝗃 as well, pairing with that Spectruhh. I know most people run anaerobic, but we'll have to see what kind of 𝗧𝗵𝗃 it is. But if it is anaerobic, this is probably quite a defensive opening, I think, for Spectruhh. I think he's just sort of preparing for what kind of turn 1 Paenis wants to play. Obviously, the Minotaur is potential pickup, but of course, the Roller again is such a threat here. Might just pick up something safe. I think a Tanneru pickup might be fine here, but no, he goes for the 𝗬𝗵𝗃 instead.
Not too bad. You know, Blue, to your point, I'm actually thinking it might just be aerobic, only because Spectruhh has a bit more of an aggressive team, so trying to get those speeds up nice and early, try to get some heavy hyperkinetic strikes. But we'll see. We'll see as early as that opening turn, whatever he goes for, either a toxic technique or a wind technique, he'll let us know right away. But oh, it looks like the Minotaur will be catching the ban for the final ban of Fool.
I think that's Spectruhh wants to run this 𝗬𝗶𝗃. I think that's mainly why that Minotaur ban comes through. He wants to run this 𝗬𝗶𝗃 potentially for whatever back pocket Paenis might decide to play, and it threatens the 𝗧𝗵𝗃 absolutely. So straight up gets rid of that, just removes it straight from the game. 𝗧𝗵𝗃 is picked up immediately, so I think Paenis knew exactly what time it was. Spectruhh down to the last 10 seconds. Let's pick up the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗃 as I believe. I mean, the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗃 was going to pick up anyway. I think he was just trying to buy time to figure out what he exactly wanted for his essentially one of his swap-ins, but finally picks up the Aquanox off into that. And we'll have to see what Paenis decides to do here.
Yeah, definitely. You know, to your point, Blue, I like what he was doing here. As you said, the bopping both of the water Temtems, allowing that 𝗧𝗵𝗃 to come in a whole lot easier. He just has to be a bit careful with the Rotor and the Aquanox. But other than that, it has a decently good matchup against that 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗃, the 𝗬𝗵𝗃, and the 𝗂𝗀𝗃. And hey, some decent good physical pressure for that 𝗧𝗵𝗃 as well. Let's see what Spectruhh decides to pick up as the final Temtem. They both don't feel that hot, if I'm being honest.
They're unfortunately neither of these Tems. I think Spectruhh got I would say a little bit outdrafted, especially since again Paenis this time has decided to use 𝗂𝗀𝗃 as what we talked about, right? 𝗂𝗀𝗃 usually opts into that last legs when the special attackers have drained all their stamina. 𝗂𝗀𝗃 can come in, do that offensive damages. A lot of the things 𝗂𝗀𝗃 counters are your high offensive shotguns. So, you know, we'll see how he decides to play that 𝗂𝗀𝗃. But Spectruhh picking up the Rolder Volarant opening as mentioned. This is incredibly safe versus whatever Paenis could throw at him for his second pickup. So we'll see if Spectruhh decides to swap out to something more offensive, or if this Volarant is aerobic and I get plot twisted. CPG straight through. Already doing that is a glass Volarant. That is a mega glass Volarant. This might actually be aerobic. As stairs follow through 𝗂𝗀𝗃, it actually might be, as that is a telltale signs. Slingshot is applied, and it is in fact aerobic. So that is a +2 speed straight up for that Volarant. Drill impact to follow, already doubling this Grandpa, but that's not really gonna do much. Grandpa kind of tanky.
Yeah, I think it was more so for just a freeze right now. At +2 speed, that Volarant 100% has that speed advantage. One more 𝗂𝗀𝗃 and the Grandpa will be immobilized for this turn and the following turn. You know, I kind of like the fact that he knew that the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 would outspeed the Grandpa, so he didn't go for that stare into a physical attack combo. Instead, he just threw the physical attack first and then stared the Rotor. That way, he has a bit of an easier matchup against it down the road. Potentially, can a single Frond Whip from a 25% increased 𝗧𝗵𝗺 and take down a Rotor in one shot? I don't know. If Grandpa goes for like a hyperkinetic strike, perhaps so. But the Volarant going to be swapped in out for now.
Swapping into that 𝗂𝗃𝗃. Hyperkinetic strike to follow through. Straight into it. We'll see how much damage it does. Just below 40%. But the mirroring as well to trade back a little bit. Bait is applied as well for that Invigorate and immunity. We'll see what the Roller decides to do. Goring does go straight through the Grandpa, so just slowly chipping away at it. The Frond Whip as well to follow it, and one-shots the Roller! Absolutely decimating that beef tank that was in the previous game. Not anymore.
That's what I was wondering, right? It was a 50% reduction on those defenses. That's a heavy hitting Frond Whip. And no wonder he didn't throw the Hyperkinetic Strike into the Rotor's direction, because he already knew, right? He had it most likely calculated that a Frond Whip would do more than enough damage. So, you know, that was the biggest trouble for him last game, right? That has already been removed from the equation. So well done. I will say Paenis getting a slight little upper hand. Now he has things like Hypnosis available to him. But, you know, the question still is on the line. Does he outspeed the Volarant at +2? I'm not thinking so. So Volarant might just go ahead and get a little freeze off. And 𝗧𝗵𝗺 is running out of stamina, so if there was a turn for Spectruhh to get back into this race, it will be this turn 3 for him.
Yes, absolutely. So right now, just about 50% for the Volarant. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 obviously already down to 61%. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 gets swapped in here for Paenis. Again, the Grandpa on the opposing side will finally get swapped out here for Paenis. So swapping into that 𝗬𝗪. So just a physical combo here in the opening seat. Toxic Plume actually getting maximum value because of that. Both of the attack down. That's huge. Yeah, exactly. 2 stages down as the speed up goes through as well. Hook kick to follow straight into that 𝗬𝗪. Punching in the face. Wolf Toxic Ticks as well applies.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, that was a decent, good double swap, but hey, Spectruhh just threw out the plume, synergized it with the crystal, and as you mentioned, 50% reduction on both of those physical Temtems, so that is massive value if I do say so myself. Now that 𝗂𝗃𝗃 that's usually a heavy hitter as well as the 𝗬𝗪, they're not going to be chipping away at Spectruh's Temtems all the same, but look at that. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 will be retreating for the time being. Out comes the Grandpa. What does he have in mind? Does he thinking a lot of attacks going there or just the HKS? But no, it goes to the 𝗬𝗪.
Absolutely, 6.6% HP. That's not quite enough. Nutrition bar will bring it up to 12.5% HP. The crystal bite to secure that kill, and will do so. But this Grandpa gets in for free. Just just casually, Invigorate and Immunity finally expires. But the Volrend, I mean, you gotta look at how much special defense reductions it's got. It is empty, and here comes the Volcrane. And as I mentioned, plus, now that your special attacker is what, 44.6% stamina, yes, you can invest in another attack, but the Volrend is running out of steam. The Grandpa, right there, with a Wind Burst, could potentially just obliterate it. And of course, the 𝗬𝗧𝗇, we'll have to see what it does. But Toxic Plume to attack down the Volcrane. Toxic Ticks as well, trying to put this Grandpa down to at least that lethal range once a hook kick comes through. But the HKS will follow. We'll see if that is a 1-for-1 as the Volrend doesn't die. It's at 2.2% HP. Sharp Panther follows, securing that kill on the Grandpa. But the Volcrane will most likely land that Ember shot on that 𝗬𝗧𝗇. No, actually goes for the hook kick. Sorry, for the hook straight up on the 𝗬𝗧𝗇 to attack up the speed boost as well. Mirroring procs and Toxic King follows, but opts not to insta-give the 𝗬𝗧𝗇, or perhaps presume the swap would come.
Yeah, I'm wondering
but does not get that kill.
I'm wondering if Paenis should have just hooked the Volrend. If the Volrend went down, you still end up hooking the 𝗬𝗧𝗇, because now that is a live Volrend, right? 2.2, as you mentioned. I'm actually impressed. How in the world he was 100% reduction in that special defense, and it still ended up surviving. You know, last game it was the Rotor popping heads. This game it will be the Volrend popping heads for Spectruhh. So well done, not just having one big killer on the team. And yeah, +5 speed. I don't think he's thrown out one HKS. He could go out with a banger farewell in that HKS, because he's only done T-Plume and 𝗂𝗀𝗆, right? Back-to-back T-Plumes getting some big value. But oh, look at that. Volcrane coming back up because of the hook. So maybe that was a decent idea. And the rush, guaranteeing the Volrend hyper ultra priority. You can't outspeed it even with +5 speed.
Stone Trench to follow as well. Looks like Paenis will not go down without fight. 𝗬𝗬𝗇 will get picked off. Acronox and 𝗵𝗵 force at the back. So, fortunately, doesn't get any worse. Again, Rush going before that Volrend. Excellent, excellent pickup. Fake Beard on top of the buffs on the 𝗵𝗵. The morale boosting whip as well. The 𝗵𝗵 is buffed. My God, going into this turn.
You know, I take it back. I take it back, Blue. I said the hook should have gone for the Volrend, but Paenis was already thinking one turn ahead of me, right? He knew that he had Rush available to him. So yeah, might as well get a little bit more damage on the 𝗬𝗬𝗇, allowing him to take it down that following turn. So well done. It looks like Paenis has 3 Temtems to 2. But, you know, one of those Temtems on Spectruh's side kind of counter that 𝗬𝗬𝗇 and Volcrane, but Volcrane does have that 1 turn of evasion, so sharply just pop it, and oh, is it gonna be a Soul Steam?
Oh Lord, the 𝗵𝗵 vanished out of sight, died like a dinosaur. Soul Steam will come in, will try and pick up the Volcrane, and the Volcrane will join him in the mass grave. As right now, Acronox versus the 𝗵𝗵, and actually the -2 attack 𝗬𝗬𝗇, that's quite the detriment for well, any 𝗬𝗬𝗇 really. There's no way to boost that up at this point in time. The Acronox might survive an extra hit because of it, but the hook kick, we'll see. Limit testing this Acronox here, but oh my God, that's still 59% damage coming through. Again, the Soul Steam will come. It doesn't kill the 𝗬𝗬𝗇 at 0.3% HP. 𝗬𝗬𝗇 lives, not even close, baby, as the front whip secures it, and we go 1-for-1. Spectruhh losing this one. Close match, but at the end there was just a little bit too much damage left for Paenis.
Spectruhh does like to have that blue side advantage, and that's what he's playing on apparently as of right now. So let's see. Oh, he might be not banning the 𝗬𝗬𝗇 here, right? He was banning the 𝗬𝗬𝗇 the whole time. Now trying to eye the Grandpa, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting that power of that Grandpa to effect again. It was less so the Grandpa's damage output than Grandpa surviving. Like, it took way too many hits to eliminate, and it just managed to chip away at Spectruh's team until eventually there was really nothing left. And so, perhaps banning it would have been ideal, but no, retains the ban on the 𝗬𝗬𝗇. the 𝗂𝗶𝗆 as well. So right now the opening is kind of similar, but here's the big difference. The opening draft, right? Paenis has to pick twice, and if he decides to open the same way, Spectruhh gets to hard counter this instead of having to play it safe with that 𝗲𝗺 and pick up with the boulder. So now, if he wanted to, he can just pick up straight up the 𝗬𝗧𝗺, force the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 out of here, and that's exactly what he does. So right now, the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 not feeling very safe. He can easily get doubled up here as the opening threat, but now Paenis gets a choice to ban that 𝗲𝗺 if he wanted to, as the 𝗲𝗺 was a little bit of a menace to the Volcrane, but of course the 𝗬𝗶𝗰 was the previous ban, I believe, because he wanted to secure that Volcrane's late game, and so we might still see that 𝗬𝗶𝗰 ban come through.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we didn't get to see how impactful the 𝗬𝗶𝗰 was, of course, because it was banned, but I wouldn't doubt it, and it looks like it will be banned again. So yeah, Paenis just doesn't like any water Temtems playing against him. But look at that. Spectruhh said, all right, you're going to be banning the waters. I'm just going to be banning the bigger threat there with the Volcrane. You know, to the point you made earlier, Spectruhh does pick up a very similar team as that game one that he did end up taking home. So the Rotor, the 𝗬𝗧𝗺. However, there's two different Temtems staring him down now, right? Last time it was a Volcrane and a Minotaur. So Rotor had easy pickings, right? However, this team that Paenis has right now on the opener is exactly what ended up taking down the Rotor, right? It was a stair from the Grandpa into a front whip the second turn. So I dare say, I don't think Spectruhh is going to be falling for that same trick 2 times in a row. But I could be wrong, right? We'll go ahead and find out.
Yeah, but with the Volcrane ban, this actually does even the matchup quite a bit. Like, Spectruh's team hasn't changed, but now the 𝗂𝗏 is picked up instead here for Paenis, and there's no Volcrane, right? There's not that security that you're gonna just one-shot the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 in here. You're gonna have to work for that kill a bit more as Paenis. And we'll have to see again. 𝗬𝗧𝗺 is in the opening now. That is the strength of getting that second turn. That counter pick as Spectruhh now fully expecting it. Now the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 in threat here. Paenis might try for something gambly, try for the same tactics, stare into front whip, hoping 𝗧𝗵𝗺 doesn't get killed. But if that doesn't work, he will just be a Temp down. So he plays it safe, swaps out the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 for that 𝗬𝗺, but now Spectruhh gets to retaliate. Spectruhh might just go all in for one of these kills. Helicopter kick to follow, so it does do a bunch of chip damage. Stair does get thrown down still. This time with the 𝗬𝗧𝗺 wants to secure that kill before he gets any more damage done. But the bait gets applied, at least applying that Invigorate, and we'll see the drill impact go through, and it goes into that 𝗬𝗺 spot. So actually doing a decent shimmer damage, but the sweat band, the nutrition bar, keeping that 𝗬𝗺 in the green, and I don't think 𝗬𝗧𝗺 is going to do 61% damage on that 𝗬𝗺 before a trade comes in.
Yeah, I don't believe so as well. And you know, that was a good swap out because 𝗧𝗵𝗺 would have ate that hook kick and the drill impact a whole lot worse than the 𝗬𝗺 with that nutrition bar, as you mentioned. So yeah, now things like Major Slash will be online. So I'm not too sure because Paenis does have the option to go for something like a turbo choreography with the wind synergy on the Grandpa, but I just don't know if he's able to, you know, pull that off because, you know, you don't get any attacks across. And then, you know, you can't say the same thing about Spectruhh, right? He's just going to be clicking those circles. They're not green circles, but just strong neutral damage into either of these Temtems. So I'm not too sure. I mean, a +3 speed hyperkinetic strike will be chunking, but it won't be killing either of these Temtems from 100 down to 0. So this will be an interesting turn. I'm curious what he's going to be doing.
Hypnosis, as there was a speed tie, and unfortunately the Grandpa that's come through. Crystal Bite will not get that kill. 𝗬𝗺 is just too tanky. Roller is asleep. Turbo choreography, and oh boy, this is not looking so spicy. The speed buff on both the Grandpa, the 𝗬𝗺. Spectruhh now at a full speed disadvantage. Roller still sleeping on the job, and 𝗬𝗧𝗺 now in threat of just getting straight up doubled up and dying here.
Absolutely, I love this play. I completely forgot about the Hypnosis, of course. So Rotor doesn't have Tardy Rush online. It's low as can be. So the Hypno going first. And now Blue +3 speed on both the 𝗬𝗺 and the Grandpa. That left-hand spot on Spectruhh. There is no safe picks, right? A hyperkinetic strike into a held anger. or even just a major slash will be online, and there is nothing. A 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 can't eat that. A 𝗧𝗵𝗶, Volar, and Acronox, none of those Temtems could probably bear the brunt of that force coming in, right? So we'll see. We'll see. I think Paenis did an awesome job controlling the board state. And now, as you mentioned, he does have that speed advantage. Let's see how he utilizes it to his max potential. He doesn't want to give up the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 just yet. So the 𝗧𝗵𝗶 coming in, but does it live is the question.
Absolutely. 𝗧𝗵𝗶 comes in. Fake beard as well to follow. So HKS does come through, as you mentioned. We'll see how much damage it does. Oh my god, that's a squishy 𝗧𝗵𝗶. The major slash to secure this kill, and it will do so quite handedly. So that is a straight up 𝗧𝗵𝗶 just in the dirt. And unfortunately, again, Roller now finally awake. But Spectruhh had to fully sacrifice the 𝗧𝗵𝗶. Once again, does effectively nothing for Spectruhh except eat a full turn worth of damage. But now, yeah, the problem now is his grandpa is fast enough that there will always only be one Temtem Spectruhh will be playing with. 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 comes back in, but he has to focus down this 𝗬𝗬𝗺, I believe. Otherwise, he'll just be a full turn down, and you can't really let the 𝗬𝗬𝗺 just get away with murder, like, quite literally, actually. 𝗬𝗬𝗺 will get swapped out, which is interesting choice from Paenis. 𝗧𝗵𝗶 does come in, and will come through. So Hypnosis follows up, so puts the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 to sleep once again. So Roller will goring, so trying to secure that kill, but 𝗧𝗵𝗶 will just handle that just fine. 53.7% HP and sustainable.
Yeah, not too bad. I almost wanted a Spectruhh to try to target down this grandpa. I know he wanted to get the kill. He was a little bit head hungry. I know Goring most likely would have taken the 𝗬𝗬𝗺 down, but this grandpa, he's the one kind of controlling the pace of the game, right? Hypno earlier on the rotor, now the Hypno going onto the 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶, so almost wishing he threw it in there, but hyperkinetic strike, and oh blue, I am smelling a Fron Whip coming soon.
Absolutely, he's gonna have to kill this. Oh, the 𝗬𝗬𝗺 gets waking up! The 𝗬𝗬𝗺 will be able to move, and the hook kick comes in, securing that kill on the 𝗧𝗵𝗶. He says, "You will not get that off today, good sir! You are denied!" 𝗬𝗬𝗺 gets that straight up kill, alert on it as well, and will be trying for perhaps a sharp stab to push through, guarantee that 𝗬𝗬𝗺 kill. Right now, it is the biggest priority to Roller at 56.1% HP. A double up could still potentially burst through it, but of course that 𝗬𝗬𝗺 is 45.2% HP. It is guaranteed, I think, Paenis gets at least one kill, but Spectruhh at least gets that 1-for-1 trade. As a 𝗬𝗬𝗺 at 25.5% HP. Both these times should be able to deal the damage to do so. But I have to say, plus, I don't see Spectruhh beating this grandpa right now. Volar and Acronox are in the back pocket. Neither of those times are going to do very well, and 𝗂𝗀𝗆's still there to shut down the Acronox. So right now, Spectruhh in a very spicy predicament.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, he did great. That 5-head waking up the 𝗬𝗬𝗺 was incredible, right? Fron Whip is a 1 priority move, so as long as you could get a move off, that 𝗬𝗬𝗺 coming in with the hook kick, really impressive, because Rotor was on his way out. Now it's going to take a couple more turns, right? 𝗬𝗬𝗺 could do a bit, but Rotor doesn't have that -2 defense like he did in the previous game. But to your point, Blue, the grandpa, that is what Paenis will be preserving for right now. So nice little double swap. 𝗂𝗏 coming in, so things like aquatic whirlwind going online. The 𝗬𝗬𝗺 is coming in on the right hand side, looking to eat the Goron decently well, but this crystal bite, is it going down?
2.4% HP. The 𝗬𝗬𝗺 lives, so sharp stabs will have to be invested. But look at the stamina. Here's what it is. This is the killer here. 𝗬𝗬𝗺 is now at 14.5% stamina. Sharp stabs will guarantee that overexertion, and 𝗂𝗏, look at its chaps. That Roller look real juicy right now. There's nothing the Roller to do to defend itself against that water cannon inbound. Even an aquatic whirlwind should, if it be necessary. But I believe that will be held to burst down that Acronox, and 𝗬𝗬𝗺 has to get killed off here for the opposing side, the Paenis side. Otherwise, this 𝗬𝗬𝗺 chipping in that damage from the Volar and Acronox is going to only put things from bad to worse. And again, holding on to these speed buffs, Spectruhh is a very bad spot. We'll have to read Paenis' next few plays as handedly as possible. Roller gets swapped out here. We'll be dodging that water cannon or aquatic whirlwind. Volar will be taking that shot instead. As the AWW actually using the 𝗬𝗬𝗺, it does! absolutely massive. It takes out the Gas before it gets a move off, and the Gas on the opposing side, for Paenis' side, will get that hook kick, and it does 43% damage straight up. A full tempo on Spectruhh as the Vulnerant still not ready. The Acronauts on the field, forced out, exposed to this 𝗂𝗶𝗴 shotgun, still ready and locked and loaded.
Man, yes indeed. Gigahead Brain coming out from both of these sides, right? Spectruhh with the wake up on the Gyalis, and now Paenis reading the read of Volder and swapping in for the Aquatic Whirlwind. So might as well throw the Aquatic Whirlwind on the Gyalis side, right? So well done, recognizing exactly what he needed to do. And now that is a 2-temp deficit, right? Going down for the side of Spectruhh. So is there a little hope for Mr. Paenis over here? He's looking good, but he doesn't have hook kick, and that 3 priority sting will be taking him down. Let's see what 𝗂𝗏 is able to do. Does he have something like a blizzard? Because that would come in kind of handy here.
Yeah, absolutely. The blizzard could still be quite effective. Aerobic Vulnerant getting that +2 speed down, but the special defense down as well. So just water cannoning into the Acronauts, doing a decent chunk of damage. 40% taken out, but I mean, swapping in the Grandpa here is pretty solid, and it does. So that Grandpa, a gigantic threat as HKS, is available on that Acronauts, and I don't think Acronauts can. There's no shot this Acronauts outspeeds the Grandpa, and 𝗂𝗶𝗴 most likely going to be put on the 𝗂𝗏 to, you know, to shut down, at least freeze the temp for a turn, perhaps. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, you know, he can even direct that Hyperkinetic Strike onto the Vulnerant as well, right? They're tight on speed, and we saw what a base stats, right? No speed investment on that or not investment, but no speed stages on that Grandpa, and the Grandpa actually moving first will be sleeping the Acronauts. What does the Vulnerant decide to do? He might just be freezing the good old 𝗂𝗏 since it already has the 1 turn of cold.
Absolutely. So the slingshot and the aerobic giving it another 2 speed buff. Again, now 4 speed, so guaranteed to go first, I suppose. But the HKS, again, it's not going to kill the Grandpa. The question is if it's going to kill the 𝗂𝗏. And even if it does kill the 𝗂𝗏, does Paenis just sack the Tatteru here? Because I think the 𝗂𝗏 is actually more value. Of course, you always have that Grandpa to kill the Acronauts, right? And the 𝗂𝗏 does pretty well against the Vulnerant. Obviously, completely counters the ruler. So either way, I don't think Paenis is that hard pressed of losing the Tem on the left. Rolder does come in to avoid that HKS shot. HKS, speaking thereof, will come through on the 𝗂𝗏, just trying to get that 1 shot off. It doesn't even happen. 𝗂𝗏 lives at 5.9% HP, and the overexertion on the Vulnerant, that's huge. HKS to follow on that Vulnerant spot to secure the kill, take it out. And there it goes. Acronauts will come back in, waking up. Rolder will also follow, but the 𝗂𝗏 at 5.9% HP will be the 2nd fastest tempo on this field for sure. As Acronauts, Acronauts did actually go first with Sting, so it will be available to perhaps just sting the 𝗂𝗏 out of the fight. But Aquatic Whirlwind as well is available.
I was just gonna say, keep in mind Aquatic Whirlwind, he didn't swap anything out for that Tatteru, right? He realized he could most likely live, so Aquatic Whirlwind should be the move going first. And with Turbo Choreography, that's gonna be 100% certainty for that 𝗂𝗏, so Rotor will be falling short. Lord. 56% is just not enough, and Grandpa, there's nothing the Acronauts could do to take down 76%. And Blue, what is online this very next turn?
Held Anger HKS, baby. I don't think the Tatteru needs to do anything more in this fight aside from being a cheerleader. This Acronauts, unless it can somehow, you know, do that somehow burrow and, you know, dodge everything, I don't think it's gonna live. HKS does come through. This Acronauts would have 1,000 special defense, but unfortunately, that is a pipe dream as Acronauts gets picked up, and Paenis will be moving forward. Spectruhh.
It looks like they're in already, so let's go ahead and find out what these guys are bringing over to the monthly, as this is our first time spectating them today. So of course, Lulu, I like to say Mr. Consistent. Every tournament he's ever made, he's always been in that top 8 cup. But I am seeing some spice over here on both of these teams.
Oh shit, 𝗂𝗏𝗆 and 𝗂𝗏𝗆 and Balash and Madrid. Why is Madrid here? Listen, I love Crystal Thames as much as the next guy. Actually, even more than the next guy. But still, Madrid? Come on. I don't know.
Keep in mind, Mudrid is really speedy, right? So when you pair that up with a couple mental Temtems like 𝗂𝗀𝗇 and 𝗬𝗚𝗚, that Crystal Deluge more than often will be going first. So Mudrid is actually kind of good. You just have to try to navigate your way through some melee Temtems. But looking at Gagbom's team, he doesn't even have a single melee Temtem. So that Mudrid feeling decently okay. And oh, the double neutral Chromion. Is that a 𝗧𝗵𝗶 neutral Chromion? This thing is about to go insane.
Lord. Gagbom's team is neutral monsters. Neutral monsters. He does not give a damn. You don't have a mental Tem, you're gonna struggle, and that's what he is aiming to do. The Mimic and the Chromion, as you mentioned, comes out here, and the 𝗬𝗚 and the 𝗬𝗵 here for the side of Lulu. We'll have to see what Lulu can bring to the table, because again, neutral Tems just go, I don't give a damn. You have a mental Tem? I don't see it. I'm just gonna take full damage. You will get no advantages fighting me, and that is ginormous, especially in most in most combats, really. As Lulu, obviously the win condition can always be 𝗏𝗏. The actual 𝗏𝗏, not the 𝗏𝗏 Mudrid, but still double kick does come. Water cannon as well to follow. So just shoot away the minute, almost kills it actually. Would have been huge, but the harmful microwaves does laser beam the 𝗬𝗏 in the face. Microwaves again should secure the kill on the 𝗬𝗏, and it does. So the 1-for-1, unfortunately not going in favor of Lulu. If that damage was a little bit more significant, maybe just committing a goring or just something else as a 𝗬𝗏, just committing for that. Perhaps that could have been a kill, but unfortunately, just not quite.
Well, keep in mind, remember, double kick is a 3 priority move. If he went for the only thing else online, that base jump, he would have not outsped, right? Because of that digital synergy standing there with the Chromions, they go first, right? So he only had a double kick, so he went for the only out he could, but the Mimic just surviving by the little hair on his chin there, or on his tongue. 3.2% remaining. But hey, 𝗬𝗏 did go first, despite those Chromions going for the 3 priority. So things like Tornado 100% will be going first for the 𝗬𝗏. So that mimetized Chromion might just be going down. So is that exactly what he needs to try to get back into it? But no, Gagbom decided to retreat the Mimic, and out comes the Spider Temtem. Let's see how Lulu tried. Okay, the nice little crystal dust coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Water cannon to come through as well on that Chromion. Does a solid chunk of damage, but the awful song will come through, doing so much damage on both these Tems. Isolation as well on that Mudrid. The 𝗬𝗏, the low 50% HP in this Chromion getting its money's worth. Bang for your buck.
Yeah, not too bad. And it looks like we was almost a little stuck there, but no, the Acronite does have that adaptive trait, so +2 special attack, and gets that crystal synergy alongside his neutral. So the 𝗧𝗵𝗶 typing will still be available to him. So I believe that's a 50% increase on both of their techniques coming forward. So Chromion still has some more push in him. So let's see. Oh, actually, it does get retreated. Maybe he's suspecting something like a Soil Sting coming in, so instead it's going to be the Yowler to try to catch it, but the Tornado still outspeeding it. All the Chromion will be falling down, and then this 𝗏𝗏, the Mudrid, should just get some free damage here.
Absolutely, just this Vortex, just a chip in the face of the Yowler. Actually, that's more than a chip in the face, but the nutrition bar gets it up to 69. Nice. 𝗬𝗏 will be swapped in for Gagbom. And this is, I mean, this is quite a pair of boxing moves. I mean, this is a 1-2 punch right here. A Yowler and a 𝗬𝗏. Ooh, it's a very spicy board here for Gagbom. Quite the ruthless, just ooga booga, as I call it. Right, just straight up punch in the face.
I am down for that as well, but let's see. 𝗬𝗏 just coming up onto the board, so it doesn't have any 3 priority plays like, I mean, he does have that double kick that we saw Lulu do on round 1, but Yowler obviously naturally slow, so 𝗬𝗏 and the Mudrid should be the faster Temtems currently on the board. So can they go for a 1-2 punch? But the cage gonna be keeping everything in. Does Lulu just go for face? Oh, but look at that. It actually triggers the nutrition bar, and 𝗬𝗏 wanted to retreat, so catching the 𝗬𝗏 off guard.
Caught him lacking as well. He's still trapped next turn. Savage suplex will throw down that 𝗬𝗶𝗶, trying to secure the kill, and it does. So gets that kill off the Mattgia. Now almost out of stamina. The Sourcing does its fair bit of chip damage, but Gagbom getting that secured kill now. Up 2 Tems to Lulu, and the 𝗏𝗡 does finally come out. But again, this 𝗏𝗡 is kind of not gonna do enough damage here to secure any of these kills. And of course, I think, you know, the punches could just come in and obliterate it. We'll have to see what Lulu decides to do. And 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 actually coming in from Lulu now. Hurry Wart as well, just to hasten up its next moves. Fake Beard to follow. But the base jump coming down, so it's a physical based 𝗏𝗡, but the knockback, gonna see how much damage this does to the 𝗏𝗡, and it goes below 50%. This Yowler should be able to secure the kill with an Oshi Dash, and it does. Yeetus, Deletus, bye! Straight to the moon it goes. Yowler gets that kill, and now Gagbom up 2 Tems to the Lulu's 2. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 still does have that 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 wrath. Potentially the Mattgia still not gained its stamina. It didn't get a chance to breathe. 24.6% stamina. Still only left, rather. And yeah, this has to be the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 now.
Man, truly impressive what Gagbom is getting done here today. You know, I'm actually impressed that the cage counts as an offensive techniques, right? Because the cage triggered the nutrition bar, which is an interaction I don't see all the time. But hey, this is just a little nod to why Hibernate... well, actually, a little nod to the change of how Yowler is played these days, right? Because it used to be with the warm-blooded / cold-blooded trait, but now people are going back to the comebacker trait, so not really tending to rely on the Hibernate and able to run things like 𝗏𝗓𝗃, right? Old Yowlers never used to run 𝗏𝗓𝗃, or maybe the old Yowlers used to, but as of the previous patch, they didn't really run 𝗏𝗓𝗃, but getting the kill on the 𝗏𝗡. But let's see, Mattgia getting a little chip damage on the move flank, the Goring not killing. Can 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗆's Wrath try to take down at least the move flank here? 41% is a little bit too much to ask for, so it doesn't look like it so far.
Alright. Lynch does come in, securing that kill in the Mattgia, and gets that down. And again, most fucking Yowler low. I mean, the Chromium is also low, but the Acronite is still full. And, you know, 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 is not known for its stamina plus, so I'm not sure if he can get 4 kills in a row, which is kind of the problem at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it does have 50% increase on his special technique. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 is online, so it should guarantee a kill at least on move flank. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃s are naturally very speedy, but move flank does have a 3 priority online, like Goring. So I just don't know. Yowlers are just so freaking tanky, right? I would almost like to think 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 could take it down from 30%, but something's just telling me that it might just live on like 0.1% or something. Of course, let's go ahead and find out. The move flank trying to save it down the road, trying to copy the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃. That is so brilliant, right? So the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 win, water versus water. You're not getting too much across there. Oh, but it's so low. Never mind.
Yeah, the limit is quite low, so it's just, unfortunately, it's not gonna live through that. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 just taking that one to the chin. Yowler was dead as well. Wants to keep that mole flank in for that Goring potentially, and that and that Acronite still incredibly healthy with that special attack bonus.
This is somewhat close, right? Because I believe 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃's Wrath coming back online. The Goring not going to be doing too much. The Unseen Blow, I don't believe gets the confirmed kill from 65, but it is +2.
Oh! It's not there! It rests! It rests, and plus 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃's Wrath now online. This is the chance for Lulu to try and get the double kill, but it's just not enough. He would have to 0 to 1, 100 to 0 this Acronite, and he goes for it. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃's Wrath. He's calling upon the sea's wrath to see if he can get this win from the skin of his teeth, but it's not even close. The Acronite is like, what? I'm not even close, baby. It dies from overexertion, and it's just not quite there. The Acronite takes that kill.
For Gagbom's side, and see, can Lulu deal with this monstrosity of these neutral teams coming in this tournament? I am impressed. As we said, I've never seen anything like it, so good on Gagbom for showcasing it here.
Gagbom was like, if you don't have a mental Tem, you know liking my team. This is going to hurt. And that's exactly what's going down. It is quite the beast.
Yeah, you know, he does have 2 mental Temtems, but I just don't think that even is enough, right? It's just so powerful. I even say these Chromions with the Mimic. Oh, but look at that. There already is a big adjustment, right? Those 2 Temtems were going ham as early as turn 1, so already neglecting it from the get-go. So, well, nice little adjustment there from Lulu.
All right. Acronite and Yowler picked up. Kinu's picked up here for Lulu. So this I hope this Kinu has a beta burst in it. Otherwise, this is an empty threat.
Yeah, I would imagine so, right? You know, Lulu's like, wait a second, I had a mental Temtem. I think I should pick it up now, right? So, hey, he does indeed pick it up. And he adds a Mattgia to the side. So, on that secondary turn, he does have things like Crystal Deluge online to try to slow the game down just a tad little bit. But you know, I think this Arachnite does have things like Crystal Spike available to him. So, that should be decent damage coming into the Kinu. So we'll see. We'll see how this turn 1, but oh, not a full neutral team anymore, right? The Volgon coming in. But bear in mind, it was probably super conductivity to try to add more synergy for the neutrals. But man, these guys are going fast. Let's see game number 2 of these winner brackets. Can Lulu try to hold on and make us go into game number 3? Let's go ahead and find out.
Absolutely. We'll have to see how this plays out. So, the Kinu and Madrid opening here versus the Acronite and Yowler, of course. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 not available yet, so this Madrid will get a turn. Play ball.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, because Nutrition Bar, as we saw in the previous game, it is on the Yowler, right? You don't tend to want to target down the Yowler with that Nutrition Bar. You'd rather have it expire. But do you have... Oh, you know, Blue, I kind of like this potential line of play for Lulu. What if you beta burst into the Arachnite, you give it the mental synergy, and then you have some crystal techniques coming in? But no, Lulu's just going to be saving Kinu down the road, which is probably the right play since he does have some more neutrals in the back line.
Soil Steam follows in for the Acronite. Does 40% damage. The adaptive does apply though. Iron Coating as well comes in, but the Plague will do a decent chunk of damage on the Madrid. But now 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 available should be able to secure that kill at any time for the Madrid. But of course you can just slam it with maybe a Savage Suplex and this should seal the deal as well. If you want to keep on to that 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 for later. Actually, I say for later, but there's nothing really else that's gonna be like severely weak to the 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇, so maybe just commit it to it now. Save the trouble for later, and the OCR on the field, of course.
Yeah, you know, a little bit similar play that we were thinking earlier, right, with the beta burst, but instead it was with the Earth synergy there. So now 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇's Wrath, it will be getting the upper hand on this Arachnite and bringing it down all the way to 0. But to your point, Blue, do we just see a straightforward 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 that does Vortex, making sure he doesn't leave empty-handed, going down to 34%, but the suplex going into the OCR, a massive amount of damage there.
Absolutely, comebacker bringing the pain as the 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 doesn't want to let that roll, right? I mean, if you look at the current circumstances, if you just get this 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 low enough so that you can poke it down, that is the play. You want to stop the damage output before it gets too crazy. I mean, previously, the 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 got a lot of kills. I mean, of course you have the Volgon available, but still, again, the Wolflank's still available. The Kinu can still come out as well to eat a few shots, but the Wolflank does come in early. I mean, again, the Volgon will eat that that 𝗬𝗶𝗴 for breakfast, but the 𝗧𝗵𝗆𝗇 does get picked off, and the clinch will just do a decent chunk of damage. So, so for a whole turn, Lulu just straight up just take damage. There's unfortunately no trade for him, as the tempo just doesn't come through.
Yeah, for sure. I think Lulu was thinking that 𝗧𝗵𝗺 probably was going to outspeed, but that 3 priority play coming out from the move flank, catching the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 off guard. Perhaps he just was ready to let it go. You know, he still has one more water Temtem in that 𝗬𝗵𝗶. Has to be a bit careful with the Volgon. He's still saving the Mudrid exactly for that one Temtem. But hey, Blue, it does have Beta Burst, so targeting down the Yowler, and it does bring it all the way down. So well done. Move flank probably going to be targeting the opposing move flank, but this Keanu could be changing the momentum for Lulu here, because yeah, move flank doesn't want to eat a Beta Burst next turn, but the knockback does get him real close to death. I don't think he's going to take it all the way, but down to 23%, so not too bad.
Absolutely, getting that picked off on that Yowler, at least gets a 1-for-1 trade. Volgon does come in, and I don't know what this 𝗬𝗵𝗶's gonna do. Plus, this Volgon has to die, or this is gonna get real weird. Of course, there's still a Madrid to deal with it, but Goring does come through. There's a decent chunk of damage on the Volgon, but the Goring trade will go in the favor of Gagbom here.
Yeah.
And the Beta Burst does come out. He doesn't have a Beta Burst, so okay. Getting that damage into that wolf, like 13.4%. Strangle does commit on the Volgon. We'll probably be swapping out here after that committal, as Wolder is still in the back, but now that Madrid comes in, actually that's Vortex looking kind of spicy on that Volgon spot. There's only a one swap in, that's a Rolder.
And you know, I was actually thinking that Volgon, but of course I saw the camo with proc, so I should have thought about that earlier. I was thinking it had an adrenaline shot, just like we've seen in the past from the likes of 𝗬𝗃𝗍, but no, it looks like Volgon will be immobilized. But okay, I think Lulu does have... Oh, he goes for the Soil Steam on the Roder, doing some decent damage. As we know, Keanu and Volgon no longer able to move, but now that is the next turn. Of course, these guys are back online. Oh, you know, who has the control here, right? All the pressure seems to be coming from Lulu, right? Crystal Deluge on the Volgon, most likely going to be outspeeding everything and maybe perhaps guaranteeing that kill. I don't think Volgon can eat any attack coming out from this Mudrid. Oh, but keeps it straightforward, going for the Roder. I think this is a follow-up play. The Resin Trap making sure the Roder no longer in this game number 2. Well done. I guess he realizes Volgon just not too much pressure here.
And yeah, the Madrid, I mean, there's nothing the Volgon can do to stop it. It does come out with the Ampere outburst, but it should be okay. The Moflank comes in, and I mean, there's a lot of things riding on this Moflank, because right now this Madrid's actually really carrying right now. There's the Volgon's still mega exposed. The 𝗬𝗵𝗶 might not even have to come out here. Beta Burst available. Crystal Bite is available if the Madrid runs that, but well, it's a special attacker actually. Never mind. But the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 gets swapped in here, perhaps to just eat an attack from the Volgon. Held Anger committed, trying to get this finishing move, and 𝗬𝗵𝗶 will be eating the shot. It doesn't actually even drop it below 50%. Strangle does come in. The Volgon is out of the fight, and the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 takes it happily in the face. He takes that every day of the week. This Moflank now exposed to a Beta Burst. This Volgon will not be able to move.
Yeah,
and that might be it for Lulu.
I think so as well. It looks like as soon as he picked up his mental Temtem in that Keanu, it looks like Gagbom just didn't have any straightforward answers against it. Of course, the Strangle going to be immobilizing both the Volgon and the 𝗬𝗵𝗶, but with the Mudrid in the back line, still with the Soil Steam, still with the Crystal Deluge, it is more than over. So Lulu not out of the race just yet, making a tied game 1-1.
Let us see who takes this third game. Of course, you know, maybe Lulu has gotten a bit more familiar with Gagbom's team, but that doesn't necessarily make it easier. Again, these neutral Tems, they hit like trucks. So we'll have to see. Mudrid gets completely banned.
Yeah, perhaps realizing that Mudrid was the only big Temtem that did so much to that Volgon potentially, but it does leave the 2 mental Temtems available to Lulu. But oh, don't tell me he's not going to be picking up either or. I mean, wait a second. He might not be able to, because double harmful microwaves, those are effective into mentals. So does Gagbom cover all his bases here? This is looking a bit dangerous for Lulu actually. 3 priorities should be outspeeding. I guess I'm willing to bet that the Keanu most likely gets retreated, because I think it will go down if it stays in, honestly. And you know, Blue, we didn't get to see that sparkly, the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗴 this game. You know, probably going to be a bit more handy against maybe some nature Temtem, some other Temps, but against Gagbom's team doesn't seem too important. Hey, Gagbom scrolling through the roster saying, oh, what do I ban? I want to ban the 𝗬𝗚𝗺, but everything else is giving me issues. I think the 𝗬𝗚𝗺 was giving him issues earlier on as well. But yep, does ban that secondary mental Temtem, but Lulu gonna be jam-packed in some water Temtems, and not too shabby. Rotor doesn't like the sound of that. It has high priority with things like Tornado. Most likely doesn't have Gust since there isn't any electric Temtems on Lulu's side. But still powerful nonetheless. And to round things out, does he do it, guys? Does he bring in the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗴? We rarely see a Sapphire, let alone a Luma one. But I don't know. I mean, there's no water Temtems on Gagbom. It's probably just a nice little speedy 𝗬𝗺𝗁𝗀. But 𝗬𝗚𝗺 probably the better pick. So here we go. Game number 3, as we said, one tournament run. Gonna be heading toward that lower bracket, and one of them will continue into the potential winners final. Of course, just one more round before everything is decided. But Blue, let's see if this Kinu wants to stay in. Or do you have to save it? I'm thinking you have to save it, but let's take a look at the back line to fully realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, so the yellow Aconite Mole flank, and then you have the 𝗬𝗚𝗺, 𝗬𝗵𝗶, and the 𝗬𝗚𝗺. The two water Temtems actually are going to reap the benefits of, well, just existing. It's not really any direct counters, of course. Their only weaknesses, well, I say only weakness, but one of their weaknesses is that they're quite squishy, especially if you just commit to the offense. But the Chromians gonna go for those harmful microwaves straight into the 𝗬𝗚𝗺. The 𝗬𝗚𝗺 might just die here outright, and that might be the investment, and it does. Just straight up dead. The harmful microwaves secure that kill.
Yeah, Center Typer just too strong, too strong. Oh, but he didn't target the move flank, so that unnoticed proc coming in. Now Goring available to him, and we did see the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 is naturally faster than these two Chromions, right? Thanks to the plethoric trait, as long as you're above that 75% HP, you will be moving forward. So that's exactly what Lulu has in mind. Water cannon into Goring, that will be taking down at least one of these Chromions. Obviously, most likely the one that's already a bit injured there at 63%. But a Goring plus the water cannon, I dare say, could also take down the mimetized Chromion as well. Only because I think last time it was a double kick with the water cannon that almost took it down. And a Goring packs way more of a punch than a simple double kick. So we'll see. I think Lulu getting a slight upper hand. But of course, Gagbom can anticipate something, so the speed arrow does favor Lulu, bringing it down to 53. The hologram, so this could be the right read. Where does he throw the water cannon?
Oh, he goes for the 𝗵𝗵𝗶, gets that kill secured, and it will get picked off. The Chromion trying to dodge the damage, but the 𝗵𝗵𝗶 will take the fall instead.
And man, Blue, that is another one. 50% increase on that move flank. So now it should virtually always be moving first. The base jumps are now 3 priority. The held anger when it comes online will be 3 priority. So Lulu slowly but surely trying to get that upper hand. And I dare say he has it, right? He made that sacrificial pawn be the 𝗬𝗚𝗺. But hey, it was well worthwhile there. 𝗬𝗵𝗶 still with the plethoric trait online. Hologram no longer online as well, so a simple water cannon in that spot looking rather good. But of course, he has things like Tornado as well, right? So this turn's gonna be interesting, of course. And these guys are like the kings of the 𝗬𝗍𝗺 meta here. 𝗬𝗚𝗺 and move flank, but okay, base jump going first as we expected. Getting some good old damage on the move flank. What does the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 want to do? He keeps it straightforward with the water cannon, bringing it down under that 50% mark, which means I don't think move flank is going to be sticking around all that much longer. Perhaps Lulu just leaving that nutrition bar 𝗬𝗚𝗺 alone. And Gagbom leaving the move flank alone. I don't know if that is very, very smart. It could be the only out he's seen down the line, but 75% increase on that wardrobe move flank. And it is a protective proc as well, which is probably why he doesn't want to invest too much resources attacking into it. but it might just start getting out of hand, right?
Absolutely. The cage does come in. Catching both these Temps straight up. The Goring does come through. The 𝗂𝗚𝗚 taking a bit of damage as a tornado as well. Committing. The 𝗂𝗚𝗚 drops to below 40% HP, but the nutrition bar keeping it a bit more healthy. Late Torment though gonna secure this kill as 𝗬𝗶𝗶 explodes.
Yeah, absolutely, and that makes so much sense why the cage came out there, just so the late Torment could get the better of that 𝗬𝗶𝗶. So well done, but I'm assuming the mental Temtem is coming in. And you know, I love that play from Lulu very much so, right? He didn't want to go for the move flank. He didn't want to make sure it was knocked out just yet, in case the 𝗂𝗶𝗃 could come in, in case the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 could come in with things like Crystal Spike. So we ended up splitting the damage, and now Beta Burst plus another little base jump or anything like that most likely guarantees either of these Tems. Of course, 𝗂𝗚𝗚 is the one locked in, right? He has a one-turn trap. So I wouldn't blame Lulu for just keeping things straightforward. There is nothing Gagbom can do. A little base jump into a Beta Burst, like we said, will be taking the 𝗂𝗚𝗚 down. And there is really nothing Mooflink has in his toolbox to take down Kinu nice and easy. It's going to be all the heavy lifting on those two backline Temtems. So we'll see. I think Lulu does have a bit of an advantage, but that Mooflink is finally running out of stamina as well. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Beta Burst does come through. 𝗂𝗚𝗚 gets picked off. And the Mooflank now, we'll see what it does. Held Anger to come through. We'll go into the opposing Mooflank. We'll try and burst it down, but it will just take that straight in the face. The Kinu as well. Still on the field. Right now, Gagbom down to 3 times. Acronite and Chromion still available in the back. And we haven't seen the OCR yet once, I believe.
Yeah, not at all. Not this game indeed. But, you know, I like this rest. I like this rest from the Mooflink because now things like Held Anger are online for Lulu's Tem. And if you throw the Held Anger onto the Arachnite... wait a second. Is it only special techniques? I gotta read how it reads, but... because I don't think it becomes a neutral spider, right? I've never seen that interaction, so forgive me, guys, for that. But we'll see. At the very least, you do have a decent Beta Burst. And it stays neutral digi. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. But hey, either way, it still looks like it does pack a lot of damage. And if it stays a neutral digital, that actually favors the 𝗬𝗚𝗚 in that back line. So keeping it straightforward, the Goring going to be applied on the Arachnite. And yeah, Adaptive does get procced here. The Beta Burst probably going to get a bit better of the Mooflink. But nope, keeping it into the Arachnite there.
Absolutely. Knockback coming through. Explosion. Trying to get that pick up, but is not quite there. Crystal Spike to follow just to try and pick off this Kinu, and it's not quite there. 70% HP damage, but doesn't get that pick off.
Yeah, it doesn't get the pickup. However, as we said before, that speed is favoring Lulu, right? A simple little double kick, even a nice little base jump should always be outspeeding, and that is exactly what he's cooking. So no more Crystal Spikes any longer. Down the spider goes, and the Goring trying to take down Diabolos there, but that Beta Burst securing the kill most likely. And now it is, oh, the little Chromion, right? The little Chromion versus the entirety of the rest of Lulu's team. And I think I know how it's gonna go. 𝗬𝗚𝗚 is still in the background, right? That's double damage on the Chromion. Well played indeed.
Absolutely. The Mooflank will knock itself out from the overexertion, but the Beta Burst as well to secure the Chromion kill, and that will be Lulu's game to win, beating this mental Tem strategy.
Yeah, or neutral Tem strategy, rather. Well done. Lulu bringing it back from that 1 game deficit. Incredible stuff.
The 𝗬𝗶𝗶 picked off, I am presuming. Actually, I have no idea what killed it. Maybe Acronox Golden just obliterating it. Potentially Fiery Soul, though. Just investing into the Acronox burn. But the Soil Steam does still come through, but that 30% damage reduction might be huge, and it does give the 𝗂𝗚𝗚 a bit more HP as the uppercut to follow. So one for nothing so far. The 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 protecting that Fox. But the Toxic Ink will drop the 𝗂𝗚𝗚 to 0.3%, but not quite.
Yeah, surviving by literally 1 HP. Impressive calculated TVs. Now he's able to get off a final 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴, a final hasty lunge. Most likely looking at an 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗴, of course, since it should be neutral damage on everything he has available to him. I guess with the exception being the 𝗬𝗂𝗚 up there. But let's see. I mean, I thought these guys just started, but we're already in turn 8, and it was the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗴 bringing that 𝗧𝗏 down at a decent size. Can the 𝗬𝗀𝗃𝗃 close things out? It's going to be neutral damage and so close.
Yeah, Toxic Ink's coming through and will get that double kill. The 𝗧𝗏 low, but however, Dosh down to the Garunder and the Scunch versus 4 Temtem. There's still a mental temp in the back. That 𝗬𝗂𝗚 still available.
That is right. So, you know, 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 doing exactly what he does. He likes to rely on those little Toxic Ticks. So, Toxic Tick getting the better of the 𝗂𝗀𝗃. Toxic Tick getting the better of the 𝗬𝗵𝗃 there. And now Dosh with the final 2 Temtems to his name. Of course, the Garunder had a big old wastewater with the 𝗬𝗏𝗃's name on it. So, he will be swapping out. But 𝗵𝗵𝗃 most likely adding that melee synergy. Oh, wait. Is not an adaptive? It is an adaptive. All right, the purgation onto itself, just so that he could try to get some really heavy hits going forward. The bamboozle will protect the spider for the following turn. But now perhaps Dosh trying to focus down the Golder. You know, Blue, did you catch that one game with 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃? It was the hopeless tonic Golder surviving all the way to the end. Did you end up seeing that by chance?
No, I did not. I missed it. Whoops.
Yeah, no worries. It was just insane. I'm just wondering if he's going for a similar strategy. Does he have something like a hopeless tonic Golder? Because with that hopeless tonic, Golder does run purgation, so you clear the doom off yourself. Oh, the wastewater does come in and doing massive amounts, almost enough for that tiny little Toxic Tick.
Yeah, Cozy Net does come in on that Garunder, putting it to sleep and trapping it. So the focus will be trying to take out the Scunch. The poison immediately converted to the Acronite for healing.
That is right. So it doesn't have to worry about the Garunder going forward. So that's a really nice Cozy Net. But I don't think the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 is still safe whatsoever, right? The Scunch has been on the board long enough for things like Ninja Jutsu to come online. And if we take a look, that is a War Drum. 50% increase on that Scunch, so any target he decides, it will be going down. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 could try to predict where and maybe bring out the 𝗬𝗂𝗚, but I see the time is ticking. I hope these guys click their moves because I saw 1 second. And it looks like he picked it right.
Savage Suplex obliterating this Acronite here. The Scunch with a +2 attack, showing how much damage it does. But the 𝗬𝗂𝗚 on the field now. We'll see what it can do. The Garunder still snoring, but he's running out of time. The Garunder is +4 attack, +2 defense, +1 speed. When it wakes up, it's gonna be mega angry. Plus, it's gonna be amped. It's gonna be mad.
Oh yeah, mad indeed. So, you know, honestly, with that 𝗵𝗏𝗃 trait, he doesn't even really mind snoozing on the job, right? He's getting rewarded for snoozing. +2 defense this turn. He goes for a rest the next turn. That's gonna be +4 defense. He wakes himself up because he has the speed. And this Garunder, where are you throwing it at? Piezoelectric, perhaps?
I think he blow one-shots the 𝗬𝗚𝗚 before it gets a chance to really do anything else. Absolutely devastating. The Meteor Swarm trying to do the damage it can do, but absolutely devastating. Mattgia, the turns of tabled. Right now, the Golder and the 𝗬𝗏𝗃, the only thing standing in the way of Dosh and moving forward in this lower bracket right now.
Yeah, Dosh is doing a fantastic job trying to get his way back into that winner's side. The 𝗵𝗵𝗃, nice little 𝗵𝗵𝗃, getting rid of the 𝗬𝗏𝗃. And now the moment of truth, even if it is a hopeless tonic Golder, it's just not really doing too much, right? It was already at 75%, and it is not, right? So Toxic Ink on that overexerted Scunch And Garunder having that formation trait one more time. I don't think the Golder will ever be able to take down the Garunder. So Dosh in this best of 1 series will be taking it over our previous champion, 𝗧𝗵𝗶. So incredible, incredible stuff. Dosh not letting go, but when it comes down to this 1v1, I do favor the +6 now, right? 150% increase on the defense. And oh, actually only +4. I thought it was I thought he rested the pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Harmful lick. Now a Golder versus a Garunder at below 50% HP. But this I mean this Garunder is like, I have +6 defense. What are you going to do about it? I have +8 defense. What are you gonna do about it, Golder? You can lick me with your tongue, but it's not gonna do much damage. Right now, this Garunder kind of beefy.
Yeah, I guess he just wanted to go max out, right? Max out those max stages there, 200%. 𝗶𝗴𝗇𝗏, let's take a little look. 75%. Yeah, more than enough, right? More than enough, but it's not online until 2 more turns, so he's going to have to rely on those wastewaters. I think he was resting just to make sure he has plenty of stamina to work with. Harmful lick. Wait a second. Why isn't he clicking an attack? Wait, Blue, does he not run any attacks except Paizo? He's resting even though... No
oh god,
way.
No. That would have been so... If the Golder had more stamina, I think Dosh may have... that would have been way too close to comfort. Before...